5 years ago, I posted my first ever YouTube video after months, years of overthinking, procrastinating, and thinking I'm not good enough, this is not for me. And ever since then, I have come across so many people with the same thoughts. They're all going through this exact same cycle. Planning to start, scripting out a bunch of scripts, but never actually shooting and posting the videos out. Actually, let me be more specific. It is not about motivation, it's not about having not enough time to do it, and it's not even about not knowing what to post. See, I spent years doing this that I'm just stuck in this loop, planning to shoot today, but eventually I ended up telling myself, I'm not ready today, let's do it tomorrow. Tomorrow will be better, but tomorrow never really came. Until I realized there are actually two types of people. One who don't care and just start, just do it. And the other type where they will just wait for that perfect right timing to start. And that is when I found the missing piece. Starting isn't about being ready. It's about just doing it and figuring out system to make and support all of those things just to make it work. And today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to overcome all of this and start creating content without the over perfectionism, without overthinking, and without procrastinating. Because that is all those things that I wish someone told me 5 years ago when I was just starting out. Now the first step, let's talk about just starting. When you haven't done anything but you know you want to start, and overthinking just leads to paralysis. Now let me tell you one very important thing that a lot of people know and a lot of people, they choose to ignore it. The biggest mistake I see people is that they want to be original from day one. That was exactly me when I was just starting out. I don't want to copy people because it's so lame. Like, what if your friends realize that they watch your videos and they realize it's some other creator's idea? But what they don't know is that creator copied another creator, copied another creator. You know, this is just the ecosystem of how things work after being in this space and analyzing quite a number of creators. This is what actually happens. But the thing is, when you're starting out, it's not about, oh, I don't want to copy people. It is not copying. Have you heard the phrase, steal like an artist? The reason why we do this, to steal like an artist, is not just that we are lazy or we don't know what to post. Well, starting out, you might not know what to post. That is very normal. But you gotta understand that the ultimate goal for us in doing that is to do a very magical thing, which a lot of people cannot do, which is just to start. That helps you to start. Once you copy people, you know exactly what people are posting, so you just do the same thing. I know that's very common because you might be thinking, what if that original creator sees it? What if other people from my industry realize this? It's so lame. But here's the science behind why we do this. Because once you copy others, it does not only make it easier for you to start, it also helps you to understand or learn to understand what works and what doesn't work. For all those successful videos, those creators have already tested it out for you to tell you that, hey, this format works, this structure works. So why do you want to reinvent the wheel? Like Steve Jobs created the iPhone, why do you want to spend $1 billion just to create another phone with like different looking phone that's just weird and doesn't work? This is also one of the concepts where I learned from starting my tech startup. When you're doing a startup rather than SME business, a startup operates very differently. You're just creating things, you're testing things out. And if you're a beginner, when we apply it into the content, it's just so much harder because you have no experience, you don't know what works, what doesn't. You're just trying everything out, and that will eventually kill your motivation and your momentum while you're trying to do this. Now, after you have do it a couple of times and slowly you get the feel of how things work, eventually you will have a day where you figure out your own voice. Well, I can say this is how the human brain works, and this is how science and biology presents itself, where the more you do things, you get the feel, right? It's something that's very difficult to explain, like when you were playing sports. You know, there's this game that is so popular in Malaysia that's called called pickleball. I believe it is very, very common in places like United States where people just play it for so many years. You know, when it comes to sports, nobody can just teach you, okay, you use this at this angle and just do it, and then you can hit the ball. It doesn't work like that. You have to actually take the paddle, try it out, you know, swing some balls out of the court, and then you get the feel. The same goes with content. When you start posting, you start to imitate from people. When you have done enough of those, you will eventually come to a point where you know what it actually feels like and what works for you and what doesn't. This is called the experimentation phase, where every single person has to go through it, no matter how good, no matter how talented you are. And that's especially true for people like me. We're just normal, the normal of the most normal people ever. This is how we start. Now let's put this into practical terms. What you want to do is to know what niche, what industry you're in. Even if you're just like a coach, that is very specific, because when you become a coach, you know the type of clients you serve, you know the topics that you talk about. So from there, go find people in your industry, within your niches, to find what are they talking about, what types of content are they doing, and see which one resonates with your style wall. After finding all of these creators and studying them, analyzing them, and then you copy the same exact script or the same exact style to your own way. Now, here's when you need to change something. You can change the way you speak, because like for me, I speak maybe like a 4th, 5th grader, which is generally what most people understand. That is what Donald Trump uses in his speeches as well. That is purposely designed to be not too complex that people don't understand. It's just easily understandable that even kids can understand. So from there, you can change the tone of voice, you can change the way you present, because every one of us, we're just unique. We have our own ways. So from there, change it to your own way. And I believe after doing all of this, after 50 to 100 videos, you slowly get the feel. You know what works, what doesn't work, how it fits your style, your lifestyle, your content, your niche. You will eventually get the feel. Now I know, what if I put so many, like 50 to 100 videos that look exactly like that creator? It's like, it doesn't feel good, right? It's just merely just copying. But think about it this way. Musicians, before they come out, before they're able to like produce their own music, before they are able to compose, or like singers make their own song, Justin Bieber, all of these huge stars, they all started singing other people's songs. They all started playing other people's music before they are able to do their own. Like, this is just the way it works. Especially when it comes to content. I know there are a ton of information out there. No matter what piece of information that you have or some secret sauce you have, I believe there will be some form of it that is being presented by someone else. But you being you, having experienced all those different things, helps people to understand that particular concept more because of what you've been through. So don't worry about it, because that's where you tweak things. That's where you learn. Eventually, you will develop your own style, your voice, and then you. Now, this is also very relevant to the second point, where all of these things we're doing, like copying or imitating others, will help us with this second point of building up the momentum. Because when you do things, if you want to create content, right? Let's talk about YouTube content. It is hard. It is hard. But maybe you can start with short videos. Short videos are just, you can even make it 30-second shorts. Shoot it, post it. When you do this enough times, you will get the momentum. Because especially when you stop, everything starts to feel cold. Like even in the gym, you need to go every day or like a couple of times a week, and not just go there once a month and spend 24 hours in that entire day out of that entire month just to work out. It doesn't work like that. You eventually pass out, right? It's not about intensity. It's about building the momentum. When I started going to the gym, I go there pretty much every single day or a couple of days per week. And it feels very natural to me going there because I have been doing that already. It feels okay. It feels normal. The same thing with content. When you post, when you push out one short, even if it's just one, and then you tell yourself, hey, I need to keep this going. Maybe it might be difficult for you to keep like a 30-day streak. That's okay. Start with maybe 3 shorts per week, not long form YouTube videos, right? And then once you do it, you kind of get the momentum. That's when you start adding in more to a point where you're able to do once per day. And this is also how we do it with a system, a method where I share with my clients to help them get this momentum going so that they don't have to spend a ton of time trying to do this. There is a method, there is a system I personally find very helpful. That's also what I teach my clients and help them, because I believe in productivity and high performance. It's not about merely working hard. Yes, that is the most fundamental value that you need to have, especially Asians who are just used to working hard. Or it doesn't necessarily mean that things are gonna be easier. It is about finding a method, just following it through to make it easier for you. And this leads us to the third point, which is to create a sustainable routine. What does a sustainable routine mean? I know you might be thinking, I don't have the time, come on, I've got a full-time job, I've got kids to take care of, and then got parents to take care of. Where do I find the time to do this? The thing is not about time. It's about how you handle your energy. You build systems around it, make it work. Now, what you can do is to block out certain times of your day for ideation, research, or scripting, or editing. These are the most general things that you can do, or you can even go for thumbnail research, scheduling, analyzing. These are some of the things that it might be very easy to some people. It might look very easy to some people, but after working with a lot of clients, they tell me, oh, this is too difficult. I cannot do this. That is why I help them to handle all of these things. That takes the pain away. Eventually, if you're just starting out, you can just try it out yourself. Block time out of each day or each week just to do all of those things. When you're starting out, just try to do the most minimal of the most minimal. First, you have to start with ideation. Once you have the idea, you gotta do the most minimal, scripting. If you are the type where you function well with points, you cannot read the script, that is very normal. Just point it out, just write it out in bullet points so that you know what to say roughly. And then you just go free flow from there. Now, once you have the script, what you need to do is to just shoot it. After you shoot it, that is when you edit it. Editing it, you don't need to go for very fancy editing, because here's what I found. Most people, they look at the content because of the content. Unless it is for some entertainment, Mr. Beast type or those funny type, which we're not going to that. What we need to do is to just do the most minimal that you can, especially when you are just starting out, right? After we edit those videos, what we are gonna do is to just either you can schedule it, or you can just post it every day, or post it when you have the time. But when I say you have the time, it's not to say, oh, today I'm free, so I'll just post it. No, you want to make a point to know I'm gonna post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And on those days itself, you will need to post it. It's not to say, oh, when I'm free, I'll post it. No, set a time, because once you have a very specific day or time that you've set, it's much easier for you to stick with it. So for the start, you can just begin with these 5 steps. There are, of course, more things to it, but because this video is to help you to start, right? Starting is the hardest. I have heard from some entrepreneurs when it comes to content creation, the hardest challenge that they find is to just start, even for an entrepreneur. So what more for normal people, right? It's much more difficult. Just start with this. So I hope that all of these 3 points and my experiences in this video will help you start. That is the most difficult. But after watching this video, please take action, because otherwise you would have wasted time watching this video. Right? Just start. And if you're wondering what type of content to post because you don't really know how to start in terms of content creation, I've made a video about the 3 types of content to create for your personal brand. If you're interested, you can go watch this video, because that will help you to eventually bring more structure to helping you start in a more solid way. And if you want more content creation tips, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever I have videos out. Alright, with that, live with no regrets.